And welcome everyone to the press conference for round number 8 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. He went 2-2 on the day for an overall of the number 1 on the Team Honda HRC. It's going to be Jett Lawrence. In the second spot, he went 4-1 for second overall. That's the 32 of the Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha of Justin Cooper. And going 1-4 for third overall, the 96 on the Team Honda HRC, Hunter Lawrence. Guys, congratulations on a great week. And Jett, let's start with you. You said earlier in a conversation you weren't very happy with the 2-2 for an overall, but there's a lot of guys that wish they were in your position. Why do you feel that was so bad? Did you not have it in you to get a win, at least one of them?
Yeah, 2-2 kind of sucks to go overall win, to be honest. I mean, you at least want to kind of earn it. It's more of it's a luck thing, I feel like, with... I feel like it's more of a luck thing with going 2-2. It was kind of relying, like, the last few laps, looking at Hunter. I'm like, okay, where's he going to go? Because if he got Joe, then I would have got second. So, got lucky. Definitely would have liked to have one race win. If it makes you feel like you earn a little bit more. But, I mean, we'll take it. So, yeah.
Justin, fastest qualifier. First moto, you go fourth place position. Then you win that second one. Obviously, being the fastest qualifier, you probably expected more out of moto number 1.
Yeah, exactly. I think we went backwards after practice. We made a few bike changes that, I mean, I should have just stayed with the same setup the whole day, and I didn't. I was searching for something else, and we ended up going back to our original setup that we ran in practice for Moto 2, and it was felt like one with the bike. It was pretty good to have a flow like that, and just, yeah, I haven't felt that in a while.
And Hunter, a win in the moto number 1, obviously fourth in moto number 2. 3 wins on the season so far. So obviously some great expectations considering in 2021 you went 7th overall. So a good start to this one.
Yeah, not bad. Obviously would have liked the overall, but I left it all on the track today. First motor was good. Second motor was going really well, and just tried to kind of stick a wheel in there and then wash the front. And on a track that's really hard to make up ground, it's kind of weird. It's a very one-line track, and anytime you would try a different line just to kind of, get out of the roost and see if there's a passing opportunity on a different line, it felt like you'd lose all the ground you'd made up. So you're like, damn, okay, you got to go back to work again. So it was tough, but definitely coming out of here into the break in a lot better shape than we were last year, so it's a positive. The negative is the guy I'm trying to make up points on didn't even win a moto, but he still gets the overall. So it's like, damn it.
Let's talk about the pass, Jett and Hunter. I think both the passes came in the entrance to the whoops. Did you see that coming that way? Was it a setup long before you even got there, knowing that he might be weaker in the entrance to the whoops there?
Yeah, mine was on the, where the drop down is, like that outside drop down kind of before you go over that rise towards the whoop. So a little different to then just the dive bomb on the inside. I knew he was taking an inside line there, and it was you kind of like it when they're taking a line that isn't faster, because there's pretty much one fast line around the whole track. So it was kind of a good opportunity to just get as close as I could and kind of send it. So
ran out of real estate there too on that pass.
Yeah, so I already had the position before going into that. Like, the pass was already made, and then he ran it in on me, and I was forced off the track, and then I just got back on immediately. So I don't think there's really anything that I could have, got penalized or anything like that. So I just got back on the track as fast as I could. Didn't gas it up the side of the whoops or anything. So I think I handled it well.
Justin, the whole shot in moto number 2. Obviously, you knew you had 39 competitors behind you, but you knew you had some big guns behind you. Was the plan to get that sprint pace right away and try to separate yourself from the pack?
Yeah, that was exactly what I did wrong in Moto 1. I was a little bit hesitant, and you really need to... I've been going down a lot on the first couple laps, so it's been in my head a little bit. So it's hard for me to get charging right away when they're slippery conditions, like when they water it for the first couple laps. So I had to kind of move past that and just, focus on being smooth the first few laps while trying to go that sprint pace.
Jett, you said on the podium it was pretty much one line. Was it bonsai anywhere to even try to get close for a pass to maybe have something happen? Did you feel like you were riding the ragged edge just to get close to make something happen?
Yeah, because this track's such a high ground speed track, it's any slight mistake of just bearing the bike a little bit too much or getting off balance, you lose so much more than on a regular track, I feel like. And if you took a different line that was slower, it's like you're just trying to look for different lines and you couldn't find. You always end up going back to that main line, so it was a very difficult track. You could never, it was so hard to take a different line and pass someone. It was either like before the whoops, you just kind of jam it on the inside in the first motor, but then everyone was going inside in the second one, so it was difficult. It was just trying to work some of the outsides where you can, and just trying to carry as much momentum as you can, because that's it takes you a long way on this track, just because it is such a high speed track.
Hunter, you mentioned shadows on the podium. How bad were they?
I won't sugarcoat it. They were terrible. I mean, they're the same every year. Like, it's not like they change. But yeah, it's such a crazy thing because the track is so high speed, and it's like, you know, to have like vision obstructions and stuff, and like not be able to see the bumps and stuff. It's kind of scary. So it is. There's a very big send it kind of aspect to this track when you're trying to gain positions. Obviously, when you're in the power position up front, it's a little easier to ride defensive, but yeah, it's tough. Like, we were maybe in the off season come try and saw a few branches off and kind of open her up a little bit, because it's a little frightening at times.
Any one of you three, did the shadows change the track's texture on the backside of the track? Were you super dry, hard packed on the front edge, and on the sunny side of the track? Were you dealing with different traction conditions?
I thought the track was pretty similar in both. The second moto was a little bit, obviously dried up a little bit, but they did a good job watering the track, and it kept the moisture in pretty well with the cool conditions. But I think the first moto we had a little bit more of an overcast, because the second moto, it kind of like caught me off guard. Even the first few laps, when we got up to speed, like the difference, you'd come into a turn and then all of a sudden you can't see anything. So it wasn't like that in the first moto, I know. So it kind of caught me off guard for second moto for sure.
Jett, you were catching Justin there at the final little bit of the leg of Moto number 2. Was it you were out of gas? Was it just the risk and reward isn't worth it?
Yeah, I was. I tried giving a sprint in, but I just had a few close moments in the shadow spots where you couldn't quite see. And I'm like, I'd rather go with a 2-2 than injuring myself badly, especially here, because you can't see you just can't see any of the bumps or the edges, and then sure enough you just get bucked, and then it's done, because it's hard pack and it's fairly grippy, so it's just gonna catch you off guard and bite you. So it was more of just bringing it home safe. I'd rather go 2-2 than leave here in an ambulance. So yeah.
Hunter, when you went down in Moto number 2, what was it? Was it body position? Was it just a terrible corner?
It was. I need to see the footage again, because I felt like my front wheel was in the rut where I wanted to turn, and it wasn't I don't know. I need to check again before I comment, because I didn't. It was weird how it like washed out. So yeah, just kind of tried to put a front wheel in there, and then just, you know, it kind of washed, and I was committed to, you know, it not washing, and it just didn't work out, unfortunately. So yeah.
Now, Jett, I've got an older brother, and we got along most of the time, but there are times in our childhood that we came, threw hands on each other. You guys battle each other on the racetrack. As younger kids, did it ever come down to blows between you two?
No, not really. I mean, we're like, at this stage, we're old enough where this is our job. So whatever's on the track is on the track. We very rarely bring it off the track much with each other. It's because we haven't gotten that dirty with each other yet. Yes, we may have like kind of taken each other's line off each other, but we've never really kind of purposely gone, okay, I'm going to take you out, really. So I mean, we haven't got to that stage. Yes, every now and then we get frustrated of losing because you don't want the other brother to win. But no, we're mature enough where this is our job, and it doesn't affect our regular life. At the end of the day, we're still brothers, and we're not going to let some sport wreck that.
No, I was talking like 7 and 8 years old in the backyard.
Oh yeah, I would get my ass.
Yeah, he'd always break my toys and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd tell him, stay out of my room, and he'd come in, and I have like the Ryan Villapoto edition, like more toys, and he'd just go and wreck them and break the shocks and like leave sand all in and wouldn't wash them, and yeah, I'd whoop his ass. I was over. I was had enough.
Yeah,
Just-
then I got my ass whooped, yes.
That's
Yes.
all right. That's all right. I've been beat up before, but anyone can have a bad day in third grade. Justin, to you, Motocross the Nation, your name's still in the hat. A lot of talk about who's going to go on the team. How do you feel about getting the invitation? If you are going to get it, obviously it's got to weigh a little bit on your mind.
Yeah, honestly, the way these past weekends have gone, I don't think I've been, I haven't really thought of myself to be on the team, but the way I've been feeling lately, I think everything's starting to come around for me, and I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable on the bike, and things are coming back pretty quick now. So yeah, I would be down to do it. I haven't gotten invited yet, and I don't think I've deserved it yet. So we'll see what happens in the next few weeks, what they want to do. But yeah, of course I'd do it.
Beginning of the outdoor season, a lot of talk about your ankle. Where is it now? Are you 100%? Is it slowly coming around? Are you feeling pain after a weekend like this?
Yeah, it's actually my foot. The center of my foot shifted over. It was such a bad injury, and I got it done, the surgery done really good, and it still bothers me. It's definitely not 100%, but I'm happy to see the progress I've made since the first round as far as how it feels. It's definitely getting better each week, and I think it's going to take quite a bit of time for it to feel the best it's going to feel. I'm thinking another 6 months of healing or something before I feel like it's as good as it's going to get. But yeah, it's definitely not there yet, and but I'm just happy with the progress. With when it happened, it was pretty it's pretty scary.
Jett, Hunter, you guys are under the same tent, so I'm sure you talk after the race. Is there any questions that you specifically asked each other once you got off the track, about the track, what line you were taking? And if so, what was the question, or what would the question be? And also, I'd like you guys to maybe ask Justin something that you wanted to figure out that he was doing that might have been something different than you were.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really, we're not asking each other questions. We're more just talking about the race, or more yeah, that section was so sketchy, or I don't know, it's not like a maybe what you think it is. It's just kind of debrief and just kind of go over the race and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, it's yeah, like you said, we go back and then we just kind of talk. Just normally we just talk about, dude, I had this sketchy moment, or like you said, oh, this section sucks. So it's never really, hey, what were you doing here? Hey, what were you doing there? It's never much that. I mean, we obviously got to see it in the first moto, so we already knew what each other did, kind of, or I knew. So it's yeah, just normal at the truck, nothing crazy.
Justin, obviously with you being out front, did you feel one part of the track or section was more your forte than other parts? Do you know where you suffered on the track and where you excelled?
Yeah, I felt a good flow all around the track. That was key for me, and it came easier for me in the second moto than the first moto. I was kind of struggling to run that pace, and it kind of felt natural in the second moto, and I really haven't felt that feeling in a long time, so it's pretty relieving to feel that.
Any questions on the floor? Questions? All right, guys, thank you very much. Congratulations on a great weekend.
Thank you.